Good morning, traders. How's everybody doing this morning? Nice and cold and snowy here once again. Was not expecting that. The weather shifted pretty crazy here. The winds picked up last night and hasn't stopped since. So not moving too fast here this morning. So I'm sorry about that. But we'll get going here in just a minute. Go over some news and a little bit of watch list. Pretty much already gone over the watch list in Discord. The link is below in the description, so if you're not a part of this or watching this back later, definitely hit that up. Really good resources in there. It's pretty active because we're international traders all over the world. It's pretty much active. I owe it honestly 24/7. A lot of good experience in there. No hesitation on questions, answers. We want all traders. We're trying to build a team, so we want to be we want to treat it that way. So anybody that's a part of it, we want to bring that mentality. The S&P's here just finally poking its head out into the green, sitting right around 30.89 now. Had dipped a little bit after market last night, but then once again, same thing as on Sunday night. The sellers just could not seem to keep it in control. So bulls pulling it back out here once again. Also on futures, gold still down well below the 15 now. We dropped down to 1448. That low you can see there on the chart, sitting at 1455.30 right now. Oil finally popping back up also in the green after a couple of days of being red, after several different reports had come out across the world, but finally popping up here. VIX still sitting around 12. VIX futures at 14. The NASDAQ also poking its head out into the green, sitting around 82.56.25. Bonds down slightly. And bonds will be trading again today after yesterday was a federal holiday, Veterans Day. So I'm going to go through some of the pre-market gainers here to watch. Symbol ROK, Rockwell Automation, is up already 10%. Symbol AAP, Advanced Auto Parts, down negative 5.89% at 158.85. Amarin Corp is up, ticker symbol AMRN, up 17% at 1990. Ticker symbol BREW, Brew Craft Brew Alliance, up 121% at 1626. Diplomat Pharmacy, ticker symbol DPLO, down a whopping 41% at 365. So fear of missing out on a rally has essentially replaced recession worries the most in the widely watched investor poll on CNBC. Bank of America Merrill Lynch's regular survey of global fund managers finds investors have traded fears of recession for the fear of missing out. So a lot of FOMO going on in the market. We were talking about this yesterday. We talk about this almost every day with the newer traders. FOMO, ROMO, regret of missing out also. Those are two of the hardest things to get over as a new trader. I mean, I still struggle with this, especially ROMO, when I'm in a trade and I get stopped out, or I take my profits and then I see it run another 5%, 6%. But you guys, in this market at these levels, this high, you cannot be chasing this stuff. FOMO has no place in a market like this. It never does anyway, but especially right now, it is very, very dangerous at these levels, at these all-time highs. The big news, as I put in the description also, let the streaming wars begin. So Disney Plus launches today. I actually went and checked this out first thing this morning. I have to say, as a parent, I absolutely love the fact that there's content for younger kids. I have younger, under 8, and so the Netflix is actually harder than you think to find stuff for kids that age that is appropriate this day and age. The only problem I have with it so far is, and I saw somebody was talking about it in our Discord, is it seems a little glitchy, and they're saying something with the servers. What I imagine, though, is they're probably being overwhelmed right now, the servers, and so you've got millions of people, hundreds of thousands of people hopping on this at once, getting signed up, just blasting through channel after channel. So I imagine it's going to take a day or two for, things to kind of slow down, catch up, so to speak. The big concern with it as far as the market goes, I was watching on the news this morning on Yahoo Finance. A lot of the analysts, they seem like they're Netflix bulls, which have got to just be, down thousands of dollars here, dozens of percent, because they're trying to say that no one's going to drop Netflix, that everyone is going to just add Disney Plus to their account. When me being somebody that I am, if I see Disney Plus as being a better alternative for my family and especially my kids, considering I'm not the one who watches that kind of TV, why would I hold on to Netflix? It's absolutely useless to me at this point. So it'll be really, really interesting to see what happens over the next several weeks, months, especially 2020 this year. It's going to be no joke, streaming wars have begun, and I really think we're going to see some huge shifts in the market because of this. And if I could just really see Disney becoming a massive player on this front. If you go and look what they're offering right now, it's absolutely incredible. Disney Plus is the latest major offering in streaming services from Walt Disney. Launches on Tuesday today. Here's everything you need to know about the new service. Disney Plus will cost $6.99 a month, a little bit more than Apple TV Plus, which I think is $4.99. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's $4.99 a month, but that's less than Netflix, which is, I believe the two tiers are $8.99 and $12.99, and then HBO Max, I believe, is the most expensive, clocking in at $14.99. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. I'm definitely going to be, I know a couple guys are already in on calls on Disney yesterday. I wanted to see where we were going to open. One of those things you never know. Buy the rumor, sell the news. I don't know. We're going to have to see. So far, it looks pretty strong. So we'll see what happens there. Next news here, I have Trump speaking today around noon Eastern time at the Economic Club of New York. Amongst other things, I don't really, I'm not really sure what he's going to talk about. They've been pretty vague. They kind of flew this under the radar. Not sure why. The big thing that I'm seeing is that they were talking about he is going to address some of the China trade issues there. Also, they were saying that he will go over a little bit, touching on the EU auto tariff chaos. And from what I've been told is that he is delaying that. But it will be interesting to see if they actually get a solid, straight answer today, or if it's just more of the beating around the bush that we've seen as of lately. Also, 3 different feds speak today. I believe one already spoke early this morning, another this afternoon, and then I believe the third is after market hours. So just going to be watching that for more clues for central bank and rate cut future ideas. Not really sure. Again, they've been pretty vague about what they're putting out. And some more news here. Nissan slashes forecast as sales and profit fall on weak demand. This is out of the Wall Street Journal. And this is something that we've been talking about for a few weeks now, and is something that is going to be a common occurrence over this next year for sure. The only car company I see with even a chance, there's Uber Drive and all these fringe ones, on the sidelines, but Tesla, obviously. Tesla is the only one disrupting the grounds here. They're the only ones pushing out innovation. Everyone else is kind of stuck back, in this little box. Now, I'm sure they're all working on things, but as far as I'm concerned, the outlook for the full year is just not looking good whatsoever. And that's right here. This Nissan sales forecast slashed its outlook for the full year after reporting another quarter of declining sales and profit. The results released Tuesday showed the car maker struggling to overhaul its business, hurt both by a downturn in global auto industry and turmoil within the company in the year since the arrest of former chairman Carlos Ghosn. I'm going to butcher that. Sorry. Notable earnings, nothing too much on here that I'll be looking at other than Tencent Music, and the ones that I would be watching is the marijuana cannabis stocks will be starting to report again today. Kronos already reported before the bell. Nothing too much as an insight there. They did slightly miss, but then also had a better sales than expected because of there was a deal that they had secured that actually boosted their numbers. Tilray, I believe, will report after market hours. That to me will be a very good indication there going into tomorrow between these two to see where we stand in the entire industry. They've been pretty beat down lately. I was talking about this last night in Discord about just the fact that these cannabis numbers, all of them pretty much around the board, have been disappointing greatly. And a lot of people that were all in and just, it was just a steam truck and it was rolling and it was going to disrupt and blah, blah, blah. We have seen nothing like that. It's actually extremely slowed down. I remember just a couple years ago, 2015-16, I was trading these names day in and day out. They were literally probably 80% of my trades and my income. I was killing it. But you could just buy anything, buy calls on anything, and you were up hundreds, if not thousands of percent within days. It was incredible. But again, that was the momentum names of the day. It was the market darlings of that quarter. And that died off pretty quick as now we're sitting at these where they're almost at all-time lows, some of them. So be interesting to see what they report. Going through my notes here, going through my show notes, sorry. Some upgrades that are notable. Goldman Sachs upgraded CrowdStrike once again from sell to neutral. That's ticker symbol CRWD. No surprises there. JP Morgan upgraded Xerox Holdings, ticker symbol XRX, from underweight to neutral, and I'm sure this came after the whole little debacle last week with the deal that just I still don't know what's going on with that. So once I kind of figure out more that's going on with that, I will let you guys know, especially in Discord, because we were talking about it last week. And again, this is why I don't just go and buy things when I don't always buy the rumor, sell the news. I usually wait, especially when I'm trying to navigate this crazy market at the levels we're at. Downgrades, BMO Capital downgraded Organigram Holdings, OGI. There's one of the cannabis names right there. Not surprised. Downgraded from outperform to market perform. HSBC downgraded Eaton, ticker symbol ETN, from buy to hold. Also no surprises there. Couple initiations. Goldman Sachs initiated coverage on Fortinet FTNT with a buy rating and 113 price target. SunTrust Robinson Humphrey initiated coverage on Gilded Science GILD with a hold rating and a $70 price target. Some of the economic figures today. USA FOMC member Clarida spoke at 5:30. That's what I was talking about. Small business optimism at 6 a.m. already. USA Redbook month over month at 8:55. Redbook year over year at 8:55. 3-month bill auction at 11:30 a.m. 6-month bill auction also. USA FOMC member Harker speaks at 1 p.m. And member Kashkari, I never say it right, at 6 p.m. Some of the deals I saw in here, the only one that really I liked was the Anheuser-Busch, ticker symbol BUD, Bud, to acquire remaining shares of Craft Brew Alliance, ticker symbol BREW, and that's what I was just talking about up there earlier. They're going to acquire the remaining shares that it doesn't already own, and I believe the price was $16.50. That's what I have written here, so I'm not sure if that's correct or not, but. And the notable option of the day is JD.com. Traders betting big on earnings beat, and that's through Benzinga. So JD.com shares are up 23% in the past 3 months, but at least one larger option trader is betting on more upside for the Chinese e-commerce stock this week. It's going to be interesting to see some of these Chinese tickers as we progress, and especially today after Trump speaks at noon. It'll be interesting to see that. So there's a 927 JD call options with a $35 strike price expiring Friday near the ask at 42 cents. A few more notables I have on here were Boeing option calls, 365 calls, CVS, and Nordstrom, and Delta Airlines. So there we go. That is the news. My watch list so far. We were talking about in Discord this morning. I'm going to be watching the semis with emphasis on MU, Nvidia, AMD. I lump in there, and Skyworks, SWKS. I'm bullish on all four of those, so we'll see what the price action. I'm looking for a retest, so I'll look for them to come down. Several of them to test off middle Celt or upper Celt, and then I will be a buyer to go long. As far as the overall market goes, I feel like any sell action we see will be brought to new highs as of now. That is my very, very short-term thesis. That is not my long-term thesis. I just want to reiterate that. Again, any sell-side action I see, it's been the same case over and over the last couple of weeks. Any sell side will be bought to new highs. I just want to reiterate that. But again, very, very short term. That is not my long term. ES looking still around the 3089 level, and NASDAQ still sitting at the 8255. Dow futures up 0.05% at 27,674. I'm going to do some stretching. I'm going to grab a cup of coffee, and we're going to get ready for the bell. A couple other things I'll be watching. Again, will be Boeing continuation, Disney, McDonald's, which we're in from yesterday, and the overall market. Also Roku. If you want to post anything you guys want us to look at, we'll go over that. I'm going to go over a little bit of vertical spreads this morning to kind of show the risk reward and why we're pushing those so hard for base hits for a lot of the new guys in our Discord. And I will talk a little bit about our Celt and 1430 MA strategy. Thanks, guys. I'll be back shortly. All right, guys, getting ready here for the bell. Remember, watch the choppiness again right out of the gates here. And there we go. Let's see here. Add decline line up slightly here over the zero line. That'll definitely be on my eyes. We're gonna get there. We go. There's some sell side, like I said, but I'm not surprised it's gonna be choppy here all morning. So McDonald's looking nice up slightly here. I need to check my position. Yeah, up slightly. Still break even right now on those calls in McDonald's from yesterday. So see if she can't pull out over the next couple days, or I might have to hop out. Yeah, stocks are going to be a little changed this morning, guys. I'm pretty sure investors are just awaiting Trump's trade speech, to be honest. I think that was under the radar yesterday, and it kind of caught people off guard here. So I'm not too surprised to see this kind of just chop back and forth. So be very, very careful, you guys. We're going to see a lot of chop. Wow, that was a crazy drop pre-market in the VIX. I just saw that 1236 a couple minutes ago. Wow, weird. There we go, McDonald's. Nice little rip up. Let's keep going there. Don't turn around. Got to get up past the 1430 and the middle Celt here on McDonald's on the 4-hour. Check in on our FANG stocks here this morning. Facebook with a nice little rip up. Netflix dropping. I'm not surprised with Disney. Google with a nice rip up. Apple kind of chopping around. Amazon up after being the weakest for the last week. Microsoft chopping around as well. Not too surprised here. Nice, Apex. Exit your Facebook swing. Yeah, that was a good move, man. Roku finding some resistance here at the upper Celt on the 4-hour. Nvidia, nice little pump up there. Needs to get over that 211.82 upper Celt, and then we can make a real run. MU, Micron also making a push up for middle Celt here. Tesla down slightly. Yeah, those semi-stocks working out good so far. Yeah, see, on McDonald's here, we got that, whoa. On McDonald's here, we've got this middle Celt here acting as resistance. So that's going to be make or break for me. If we can't get over that today, I'm gonna get out for a slight loss. If we can get over that, I'll stay in. At least through today. So Disney down slightly, still in the green as far as from club closed yesterday, but dropping down. We've got some support here at middle Celt. If this breaks, we could see a drag down to this lower Celt today. Otherwise, I could see a bounce off of here and head for upper Celt. If this holds, I'm definitely going to be getting in long on Disney. Again, on the 4-hour, about to touch middle Celt. Hopefully will act as support for a nice bounce back up here. Just tapping it, so I may try to get long if this can hold support here. This is gonna be a time base for me now watching this on time. AMD up slightly also here. And the Chinese stocks that I watch, Baba and Bidu, both looking slightly down, still in the red from close, but starting to push up green here. So McDonald's still fighting for some ground here with the bulls. Roku finally getting above the upper Celt here. If we can hold this is going to be extremely bullish in my opinion. Nvidia coming down slightly. Micron still looking pretty strong here, but running into some resistance on the on the 14. But once we get over that and the middle Celt, we could see a nice run up for the 30 and the upper Celt here today on MU. Boeing down slightly, down 1% as of right now. Facebook kind of hanging around that area. Netflix still down. Google up $3 so far. Apple's still in the red, but making a nice push here. Amazon doing similar, up $4.55, and Microsoft still just kind of chopping around there. Starting to tick up finally here. All four markets are ticking up, looking bullish. The add decline line has come down slightly. Let's zoom in a little bit so you guys can see that. I'll pull back out in in about 15 minutes, 30 minutes. We are up 250 on the ES at 30.90. And again, guys, I think we're just going to chop around for a while until we get this speech from Trump later today. McDonald's still looking nice and strong here, up about 0.439%, so up about 76 cents. Call starting to look nice. I'm in the green now from yesterday. So yeah, yesterday on stream, guys, I got those McDonald's calls. I was looking at them when they were 35, but I was watching the price action, and I'm lucky that I did because it fell pretty hard. But I was able to pick them up at 19, and they're up at 24 a piece now. So again, that's why you don't just, you got to watch that price action. You don't just jump in for one indicator. You got to watch the price action. So add decline line coming down while we're reaching up. So there is a bit of a divergence there. Not a significant one, but there is a divergence going on. To be expected, again, with the overall market conditions today, waiting for that Trump speech. Roku leading the charge on my watch list, up 3.64%. MU up 2%. NVIDIA up 1.27%. AMD up nearly 1%. Facebook trying to reach for 1%. Oil still looking strong, up 0.81%. McDonald's up 0.4%. Amazon 0.4%. Microsoft 0.35%. Home Depot 0.35%. And Google. As for the losers, nothing down too much. Beyond Meat down again at 2.79%, down to 74.76. Boeing down just slightly under 1%, and Netflix down slightly, as well as a couple of the banks, and Tesla just slightly too. So pretty choppy day so far, guys. This is exactly what we were talking about pre-market here. So. McDonald's finally getting over middle Celt here. Up 33% so far on those calls. I may stair step out of a couple of them and hold the rest for later. It's going to be all depending on this price action, but McDonald's looking good just as anticipated yesterday. So good call. Hopefully the rest of you that took that are around the same levels as I am. So. Ad decline line here, finally breaking under the zero line. We're down negative 45 while the market is still going for daily highs. So there is definitely a divergence happening here. Be very, very careful if you guys are getting long here. Please be careful. Like I said, we got some serious chop going on, and there is a slight divergence. Even though we're ticking up, as you can see here on the chart, the ad decline line is below the zero line now as we're still reaching for new highs here. See, we're still reaching up here on the 1 minute here on ES, but yet we're declining below the zero line here, but yet we're still ticking above. So be very careful. This is perfect case in point chop day right here, guys. Be careful, please. McDonald's coming down here pretty hard. I'm glad I got out a couple of those calls for a nice little 33% profit. Back down now to flat on those remaining three. See if we can't hold these lines and get back up there, especially after if the market starts to push up. But if not, I will be exiting those. I will definitely make sure I do it in real time just so everyone is aware. ES ripping up here. Our decline line has also come up, as you see, ripping up with a new high of 30.96. Down slightly at 30.95 from there, but up $7.50. The Dow at 27,718.77, up 0.1%. The Nasdaq up 0.26% at 8,485.96. So market's looking still pretty strong, ticking higher. VIX still declining, as you see, sitting at 1251 now. And with the ad decline line going up and ticking higher, the market's still looking pretty strong going into the Trump speech, and we still got a few hours. So will be interesting to see what if the bulls can hold it up here. And like I said earlier, the sellers have just not been able to hold down their end of the deal. So I'm not too surprised and anticipating this. Like I said, if anything that sells off, we're going to be pushing higher. Let's check in with our watch list for the day. McDonald's, like I said, declining pretty hard, still in the green, but still pulling down here pretty hard as of now. Our FANG stocks, Facebook slightly turning around on the second red 15-minute candle. Apple in the red here still. Amazon still pushing up again, but down from early day highs. Netflix still down $2.48. No surprise there with Disney streaming, even though Disney is not doing what we want, which we'll get to in a minute. Google chopping around, and Microsoft slightly up as it is chopping around again. No surprises. BA still dropping, down $4.50, so down 1.2%. Roku finally getting above the upper Celt, looking quite bullish for today, already up 3.76%. Activision finally losing that lower Celt again for the fourth day in a row, so looking pretty weak. Will be something I'll be watching, though, going into the holiday season for a turnaround there. MU holding up, but finding resistance on the 14 MA on the 4-hour. NVIDIA not being able to push above that upper Celt, so now we're finding support on the 30 MA. But if you see there, here let's maybe bring this up a little bit bigger, so this will be a good example. So this is the 4-hour chart on NVIDIA, you guys. And so what we have here, you see this, the white dotted line is my 30 MA, and the purple is my 14. You see this cross right here? This is actually looking bullish. Or, sorry, I have that wrong. So you can see where this cross right here, with a 14 cross, the 30 going up, that was bullish, which you can see was leading up with these candles, but it just turned right around. So this could have caught you off if you didn't have a tight stop on that. That would have been a pretty bad drop there when you were thinking the other safe. So now we're going 14 coming down over the 30. So this, even though I was watching the video for a push up, this is not looking as strong as we had hoped, especially from this cross yesterday. I believe I was watching this. It was right towards the end of the day. So that crossing down over as it's coming down makes that bearish. I hope I didn't confuse you there at the beginning. I'm sorry about that. I'll go over a few more of these, especially when we slow down a little bit here in the next hour. If I can find some more good examples. There's an example on Micron doing the same thing right here with the 14 crosses the 30 going down. Therefore, it was bearish, which you can see that it dropped for the next 1, 2, 3 days. And then now today finding support on the lower Celt and pushing back up here. Tesla still looking slightly bearish. Activision, another good example of a bearish cross. Let me show you here. We back up a little bit. So this one's kind of been all over the place, right? So the 14 crossed the 30 going up. Would have looked, there was one day, and looks like only that 4-hour candle you would have been able to get in on a bullish trade there. and then it soon just kind of started chopping around, chopping, and then right here, as of, I believe this was Thursday, even though this was earnings, when this crossed right there, and this would have looked different in real time. That's the other thing you guys got to remember. Same with like the MACD crosses, RSI, all these indicators are technically lagging. Now, Celts are, the reason that we love them so much is that they don't say do this or do that. They are more of a guideline to say that if this happens, then there's a higher probability of this or that, depending on what direction it's going. It's not saying buy here or sell here. That's not what Celts do. They give you a higher probability for an entrance or an exit on those levels. So right here, even though it was, yes, obviously this was significant because of earnings, but when this crossed right here, going down, the 14 crossing the 30 heading down, that was very bearish when the 14 MA crosses the 30 heading down. So therefore it was already bearish, and then coupled with obviously bad numbers, it dropped here. There was a nice little bounce just because it had dropped so significant. There was a little bounce up, more of a dead cat bounce, and then we just turned right back around and dropped again yesterday and continued by today when it could not stay above this lower Celt. It hit that as resistance, and now we're down here, which we're down another 0.15%, but it's a lot more than it looks. I mean, it's down significant. I believe it's down about 6% there, so since earnings. See if we can find some more examples of that. Here, let me see. I got to check on my trade at McDonald's anyway. So this is what I was looking at on McDonald's yesterday and why I got into the trade. As you can see, the 14 coming from below, and it crosses the 30 right here. This is bullish in this case. The 14 crossing the 30 headed up. Now it just chopped around, dropped slightly. That's why I'm looking for this to push up. Now we keep running into this middle Celt today, and we're finding resistance here, and the 14 is acting resistance as of now. But if we can push above this and close above this, that's when we make the run up to upper Celt at the 195.30 area. So that's what we're looking for. So we had the cross here on the 14 going over the 30 on the way up, chopped around, kind of building up, consolidating, building up. Now if we can push above this middle Celt, that's when we get the run up. Now if we cannot hold that and we keep falling back, that's when I will get out of the rest of my position. And it would be a slight win because I cashed out here at day highs so far for a 30%, and so the remaining 3 are playing for free. But still, I'm looking for this bigger move, so we'll have to watch that push up from middle Celts if we can get that. I was gonna go back to my fangs. Microsoft making a nice push up. I think a couple of you are in there. I think maybe you solely positioned though in Discord. Netflix still looking pretty weak. Facebook just kind of chopping around here. Same with Apple and Amazon trying to make another push up again, and Google chopping around as well. Oh, I wanted to look back at that Disney trade. I'm going to blow up Disney here real quick. Yeah, so Disney, you guys, and again, yes, we had earnings here, but you can see the 14 crossing over the 30 on the way up. It's consolidating here, kind of building up steam, and then it pops. Yes, it popped on earnings, but this would have been bullish anyway when it crossed here, and it did, as it did in this whole day, and then into after hours and pre-market, and then consolidated, dropped slightly, consolidated. It still was looking bullish. Now, obviously, this is more of a catalyst news event, not not a technical trade. But we did bounce off of this middle Celt, like we were saying, and now we're pushing up here, finding resistance on the 14 MA.